Hello and welcome to This Is, where we have a very special guest, your least average consumer in the world, Judner, my friend. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man. Super nervous because I have horrible memory, but I'm ready.
I feel that one, man. I feel that one. Well, we're gonna make it not so easy for you today with 10 questions about technology from a wide variety of sources. And we're going to ask you to answer 2 questions about each. We're going to ask for the name of the product. Some of these, I will say in advance, are a little bit sort of vague, so there may be a little bit of trickery involved. And we're also going to ask for the year that each item came out, and we do have a plus or minus 1 year handicap. And of course, since this is the This Is game show, I said this is like 4 times in a row, we're going to have a little wager. If you were able to get 50% of these questions correct, then we will tweet whatever it is that you like. However, if you were failing to reach that milestone, then we're going to ask you to tweet a kind little subscribe to This Is link on your account. Does that sound like a fair wager, my friend?
Not too bad, I'll take it.
All right then, let's kick it off with question number 1.
Oh, okay, yes. I know what this is. This is the Sony PlayStation Pulse wireless gaming headset. I'm absolutely in love with that, so I'm very familiar with that. That came out like the year. I want to say, I'm with the handicap, I think it'll be safe to say 2013.
Judner, your mastery of the average consumer. I'm really gonna run out of your average consumer puns very quickly. Yes, you're 100% correct. This is in fact the PS3 Pulse Elite headset from 2012. So I know you're a big fan of this one specifically, right?
Oh, I was in love with that thing.
Well, and it's crazy because like I kind of forgot that the PlayStation 3 actually had dedicated wireless headsets. I always think about that as more of like an Xbox One, PS4 thing.
I mean, what made this one awesome was that you could use it with pretty much anything. From PlayStation to like your cell phone, a computer, all wirelessly, just because of the dongle that it came with. It had a headphone, it had like a 3.5mm jack. It was awesome, man. That thing was super versatile.
I've got to say you were off to a perfect start, some might say. You didn't even need the handicap because it was exactly on 2013. Are you feeling a little bit more confident now? You feeling like you might have a good shot at this one?
I don't know, man. You guys might be taking it easy on me.
We would never do something like that, especially as we move on to question number 2.
Which one? Which one am I answering? There's like 5 different things here.
Specifically, we're looking for the model of the phone that's second from the left. So, as you might imagine, those are accessories for that particular device.
That is an iPhone trapped in a bunch of stuff, isn't it? No. Wait, what? This is some trickery right here.
I can confirm the only photoshopping that we've done with this is to remove any logos, anything that was very specific. We did not say put a different screen on the device. We didn't change the fonts or anything like that. This is an official marketing image from this particular company with essentially just the logos wiped out. We didn't play with you that much.
I can't even assume what kind of Android device it would be if it were some kind of clone or copy. All right, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna iPhone 10. When did iPhone 10 come out? 2016. I'll go with 2016.
So this is the iPhone 10 from 2016. Is that your final answer?
Probably. I'm guessing with the handicap in mind that the year for the iPhone could be right, but I'm going with that.
Judd, I am very happy to report that on question number 2, your reasoning was actually a little off. This is in fact not the iPhone at all. This is a Doogee S90 Pro. We may or may not have put this in here because we really wanted it for the thumbnail of this video. So the S90 Pro is a rugged modular phone. So essentially what you're getting here is it had all kinds of accessories, including a night vision camera, the controller, a walkie-talkie, the extended battery. They claimed that it could survive for 2 weeks underwater, but it couldn't survive 2 minutes on the shelves because I've never seen one of these in person in my life.
See, I knew it was gonna be some stupid Android phone that was cloned to look like an... I knew it.
It's funny, so I never even considered iPhone, but as soon as you mention it, looking at like the time and the date, that font is identical to what you get on the iPhone. So I actually totally see where you were coming from with that. Importantly, you are still at 50%, which means that you are absolutely still in the game. And if you can keep this up, you will be a This Is game show winner.
After this stunt, man, I don't know.
That is exactly what you should be thinking as we move on to question number 3.
This is that blue. I remember these. Who made it though?
So does this seem like something that you've maybe made a video on before?
I might have covered it, maybe in some like really inexpensive like tech kind of recommendation. I don't know if it's like Samsung or Asus.
So now would be a great time to mention that, of course, we do offer one singular lifeline here on the This Is Game Show, which is Phone-a-Ken, where you can phone our good buddy Ken Bolito, and he may or may not be helpful. Now, of course, we're early in the game. This is question 3 of 10, so you may or may not want to burn it this early, but just so you know, the lifeline is on the table for you.
All right, I'll keep Ken in the back pocket for now. I can't remember the manufacturer, but I'm just gonna go with Samsung, a Samsung Chromebook. I'll say 2013, because I think that's when I would have. Yeah, I say 2013.
You have absolutely seen this Chromebook before because it was actually featured in one of your tech backpack videos. However, this is not in fact a Samsung Chromebook. This is the Asus Chromebook C202 from the year 2016.
Oh, that's a lot sooner than I expected, but I knew it was Asus. Ugh.
The whole purpose for this Chromebook and really what made it special was that it was rugged and waterproof. And in fact, we actually did a video a couple years ago on our channel where we like threw water balloons at it and we actually ended up killing the screen. So it's not water balloon proof, but this thing actually is pretty good. It's really meant for, kids and stuff. You can drop it, you can kind of beat it around a little bit.
Yeah, you guys are keeping me on my toes.
It's okay, man. I believe in you. Let's move on to question number 4.
Thank you. Something I know, especially in my color. These are the Sony Herons. They're Bluetooth headphones, or I guess this one might not be one of the Bluetooth models, but these are the Sony Herons. I'll say 2016. I think around that time, because I remember at CES they were announced. Yeah, I'm gonna go 2016.
I'm actually sad to say that on question number 4, you were 100% correct. Yes, in fact, these are the 2016 Herons. Good job, my friend.
Nice, 100%. I'm with that.
So, of course, we had to pick your favorite colorway, although I think this came in a pretty wide variety of colors when it first came out, right?
The singular color thing always threw me off because I feel like it kind of makes it look cheap, but these were not cheap headphones by any means.
After question number 4, we're actually back up to 50%, so you have 4 of 8 points, so still right back in it. And just in time to move on to question number 5. You're really gonna like this one.
So a super thick phone like this, was this a concept?
I will say that these are products that were announced. Some of the products we featured on previous game shows actually never did ship. So I can't confirm nor deny, but concepts are within the realm of possibility.
I feel like this is a Nokia device that was talked about that had like an insane amount of battery life. I don't remember much about the screen. This definitely looks like some kind of render. It has 3 cameras though, so that's fairly recent. The thickness in particular, I remember a Nokia phone, I'm pretty sure it was Nokia, something that was just supposed to have like insane battery life, kind of to play on their old devices from back in the day. The screen doesn't jump out at me at all. Honestly, it's just the thickness, and those 3 cameras make me feel like it's more recent than it is old. But then again, I think the Find X had a very similar back, but that one had a pop-up camera. This one has no front-facing camera, so maybe it's Oppo. I have no idea on the model number. I'm just gonna say Nokia. I'm gonna go back to that since this doesn't matter. Nokia, I don't know, power cell. I'm making something up over here. And then I'm gonna say 2017.
2017, so the Nokia Power Cell from 2017 is your final answer?
No, Austin, I'm going 2017 again.
Are you sure about that? You're going back and forth. This could be important, man.
2018 final answer.
Well, this is in fact the 2019 Energizer Pro Max P18K. So you get 1 point on that one.
And yes, I heard about, yeah.
The Energizer Power Max is a device that I actually am not 100% sure ever shipped. I believe this was shown off at CES as an 18,000 milliamp hour battery. However, I'm not sure if this thing ever actually shipped or not. I think it was just a concept.
I bet you some branch of Oppo made it.
Well, Judd, you are right on the bubble right now. You are at 5 of 10 correct, exactly 50%. What's your confidence level right now? How are you feeling about life now that you made it halfway through the This Is game show?
I'm feeling pretty decent. If we can stop throwing smartphones my way, I think we'll be okay.
I'm looking at the upcoming list. You might have some problems here.
I'm just kidding. I can't handle smartphones. Let's do this.
Let's move on to question number 6.
Okay, so this one, V-Moda, these look smaller though. These are not the M100s. They're not the XS. These are not the XS. They're not that small.
When you say that they're not that small, how do you actually tell? Because I look at this, I have no sense of size or scale whatsoever. What about it makes you feel like they're larger or smaller?
So for the V-Moda line, they generally all have like the same headband, and depending on the model, the ear cups, I think, are the differentiators. So if they had like larger ear cups, it'd probably be like the M100. I think the M80s were a bit smaller.
So I will say, before you lock in any kind of final answers here, this is the question that we're actually going to not ask a year on for a couple of reasons. And instead, what we're going to ask for is 1 point will be for if you can get the correct manufacturer. The other point will be if you can get the exact model number. As you will see in a minute, this gets a little complicated on the year. So we're gonna go ahead and give you a pass on that one.
So, V-Moda, I got my 50 right there. And all right, I'm gonna go with V-Moda M100.
Judner, you have done a very good job looking at a pair of headphones, which to me look about as generic and as identical to every other V-Moda pair of headphones as I've ever seen in my life. These are in fact the V-Moda XS. So I can give you 1 point for that.
XS? Oh, are you serious?
So that's why I was asking about the scale, because that's really the only differentiator. So I guess these are the smallest of the range, right? Because I know that there's the M80, the M100, and the M200 were all pretty similar in the design, but it was just the size of the ear cups and I guess the drivers inside, right?
The XS was so incredibly small in comparison to just other headphones in general. But I'm guessing because I'm just seeing it by itself here enlarged on this image, that it was kind of hard to see how small it is. And those ear cups still look like, if I'm looking at it as a large headphone, it still looks like it could be over-ear headphones, but I got my 50, so I'll take that.
Like you said, you got your 50, and importantly, you're going into question number 7 with 50%, so you're dead on, and you still have your lifeline. So you're still in pretty good shape, especially if you can knock out 1 or 2 of these questions at 100%, you're gonna be in very, very good shape. Are you ready to move on to question number 7?
I know this phone. I should know this one. There were so many conversations about this phone. I'm gonna call my boy Ken.
Hello.
Hey Ken, what's going on, man?
So this is actually a Google phone.
I knew it was Google. Okay.
Yeah, the Google Project Aura.
Aura, yes. Okay, I knew it started with an A and it had an R in it, but I was thinking like Ari or something like that. Okay, Aura.
Yeah, I don't remember the year though, but I think it was like
Ken.
5-ish years ago.
All right, we're staying steady on this 50% line. That's cool. All right, Ken. Thanks, man.
All right, best of luck.
Later. So this project was called Aura. It was the Google project that never actually made it. It wouldn't be 2017. That was too soon. Okay, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna go 2015.
So this is the 2015 Google Project Aura?
Yes.
I'm happy to say that this is the Google Project Aura from 2014. So you get full points on this one.
Let's go, Ken.
So what made Project Aura unique is obviously, as you can see, the modular design. So I was actually there at the launch event for this, and it was a unique idea because essentially they were trying to build a phone which could be constantly upgraded. So you'd be able to swap out the battery module, upgrade the processor module, upgrade the camera module, swap out your screen. The idea was that you would keep the chassis and just buy more modules over time so you wouldn't have to go and throw away your old phone and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, because they had built that sort of skeleton backing, they were very limited in the sizes of the modules. There's always a lot of wasted space, and generally speaking, things were moving very quickly and it was going to be difficult to hold up. So they came very close to shipping this.
I mean, the concept, it makes complete sense. Like, everybody hates having to upgrade their phone.
What's fortunate for you is that you are at 8 of only 10 points you really need. So out of the next 3 questions, you just need to get 2 points.
All right, let's go.
All right, let's move on to question number 8.
These are from Blue, I believe. I never got my hands on these. I think they're from Blue. I don't know the model number though. Just got my 100 on the last one. Now I'm like at nothing right now. I don't even know what their naming scheme is like. The Blue Snowball headphone from 2017. Final answer.
So these are the Blue Lola headphones, and they came out, believe it or not, all the way back in ye olden times of 2015.
Ah, dang, just missed it.
So it's okay. You still have 2 questions left, and of course, since this is the This Is game show, we've got a little double or nothing bonus round at the end. So are you ready to move on to question number 9?
This is the Essential phone. And this came out. When did the Essential phone come out? This is like, okay, it wouldn't be as late as 2018. So I'm gonna say 2016.
There is technically a model name at the end of the Essential phone, but they only made 1 Essential phone. So I'm gonna say that that is correct. And I'm happy to report that you are a This Is winner. Yes, this is the 2017 Essential phone, technically the PH1, but they never made a PH2 or PH3, so good job.
Thank you, thank you. Matt, don't be a hater. I'm so glad I got that.
Yeah, don't be a hater, Matt. PH1, like, dude, okay. So this was honestly one of the most premium devices I have ever used. In fact, I actually did an episode of the test drivers not too long ago about this phone, using it in 2020. So it was made out of ceramic and titanium. So it was an incredibly impressive feeling device. Like you said, one of the very first devices with a notch. And importantly, even though the Essential company recently moved on, and well, I say moved on, they recently went out of business, they actually kept this thing updated with a completely stock looking build of Android up until early this year. They had over 3 years of software updates, I believe.
I think after a while, the price was great and it was available like on Amazon. So it wasn't a bad choice like a little bit later on in its past its initial release. So good. I'm glad I got that.
Now, I'm very happy to report that with 1 question left, you have clinched the game. However, you do have the option, if you so choose, to go for the double or nothing bonus round. So just keep that in your back pocket. We'll go through the last question just so you can flex on everyone with your incredible tech knowledge. But the game's not quite over just yet. So let's move on to question number 10.
Oh, I remember okay, I remember this one, but I don't remember it actually. I don't know who made it. But I remember this, I remember the concept here. I have no idea for model number. Or what manufacturer made this. I'm gonna say 2018 as the year.
You already won, and you actually just got a little bit of a bonus point there because this is actually from 2019, so you were correct with that. However, this is the ZTE Nubia Z20. So this was a dual screen device. You can see that rear display. It was like semi-transparent, so when it was off, I don't think you could see it at all, and then you could get like a little bit of information. I believe it was like notifications and stuff. You can get us to tweet whatever it is that you want. Anything you want, I'm sure you can get creative with it, or you can gamble it all and go double or nothing. If you fail to get it 100% correct, you walk away with nothing besides your pride and a imaginary This Is winner trophy.
Since there's a year involved, I absolutely do not trust my memory. So I am walking away a winner here. So thank you guys. Can I at least see what the question would have been though?
Oh, you can absolutely take the question just for fun. So congratulations on winning. Let's take a look and see if you actually had any sense for what this bonus question would have been.
Oh, this is the Swiss backpack. I use this as a gadget backpack. I have no idea when this came out though. So I am absolutely glad I didn't take that.
So that's the trick we have for this, is we were actually not going to ask you for the year that this came out. We know you did a video. In fact, I know I've seen you wear this backpack. We were going to ask for the year of the video that you did on this particular backpack. So if you were taking this question, what would have been your final answer on this one?
I would say the Swiss 15-inch laptop backpack. So many backpacks just have that in the name, just kind of like the whole headphone thing. So it's 2016, yeah.
Well, I'm very happy you didn't take this, because this is actually a video you did in 2017. So this is the Swiss Gear Apastron. Apsatron? I'm making
I'm glad I walked away.
You made the right call in not trusting us, because we were not going to make it easy on you. Congratulations. Do you have any idea what you would like us to tweet?
Okay, let me think on it, and then I'll let you guys know.